Did you think training your reactive dog would be easier? I did. I've trained thousands of dogs and eventually get amazing results every time, but God, it was hard at first. I wish I'd known then what I know now. And so to help you make your dog training 10 times easier, here are 14 lessons that I've learned that will help you get in control of your dog so much faster. Lesson number 1. When I first started training, I thought the problem was always the dog. I mean, I'm the dog trainer, right? So in my head, the issue had to be the barking or the pulling or the jumping or the dog reactivity. So I'd spend hours teaching commands, correcting, rewarding, basically trying to fix the dog. But no matter how much I worked, the results never lasted much longer than the training session itself. I do a training session, the owners have been really great, really consistent, worked really hard with their dog, and got great improvement. Then we'd finish the session and I'd watch them let their dog jump all over them, paw at them, basically do whatever the dog wanted. This teaches the dog that there's no respect or manners for their owner. And we all know the saying, right? Manners maketh the man. Well, in this world, it's manners maketh the dog. So lesson number 1 is manners are more important than commands. So try this. If your dog jumps up on you, treat it like they've just jumped on your 90-year-old grandma. Like it's a big deal. Don't overthink it, just correct it. Grab their collar and mean it. That moment alone will shift your dog's view of you from someone to walk all over to someone to respect. And don't worry, they can still jump up. You can still have all the kisses and cuddles. You just need to invite them. Lesson number 2. I used to think consistency alone was like the only important thing in dog training, and it basically fixed everything. Just keep showing up, keep doing the walks, keep training, keep exposing your dog to other dogs, and it would work. And maybe you've been told the same. But then I'd watch owners just like yourself work so hard and do all the right techniques, and their dogs would still often, not always, but often erupt into chaos, and they'd still fall into panic. I needed to get the owner to calm down. And yes, I know it sounds really simple and obvious right now, hindsight and all. But I was focused on training the dog again, not the person. So the day I started showing my clients how to take charge with a calm mindset, the whole picture changed and the dog started following their lead. And yours will too. So lesson number 2, consistently training with the wrong energy is useless. In fact, it'll usually make it worse. So try this. Before you next go to do any training or attempting passing dogs, or basically anything that makes you anxious, I want you to try box breathing. It's a simple 4 seconds inhale, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds exhale, and then 4 seconds with no breath before starting the cycle all over again. And yes, this is me basically telling you to breathe. But if you actually do it and practice it often, you're going to be utterly amazed at how much calmer you feel. So please just try it, because I know right now when you see a dog, you do not breathe at all. Practice this consistently, and then you'll actually be able to train consistently with the calm energy. Win-win. Lesson number 3. So your dog finally does something right. Maybe walks nice on the lead for 10 seconds, or sits calmly when another dog passes. And straight away, what do we want to do? We're ready for the next level. I'll hear clients say things like, oh my God, he's just done great there. Now let's try 2 dogs passing, or let's see if we can do it off lead. And you see, this is where it all unravels, because one success isn't mastery. It's just a glimpse into what's possible. And instead of letting the dog's brain really learn what calm feels like, we want to rush to the next level, right? To get the next step. And the dog just ends up confused and guessing and then reacting again. And I used to do the same thing myself. I'd see a little bit of progress and I think, we're there, we've done it. But then every time I pushed too far too soon, I'd end up right back where I started. Then I started to slow everything down. Instead of chasing big leaps, I looked for repetition. If the dog could do it right once, we'd do it at least 10 more times before we'd even think about moving on. And guess what? Progress explodes. Because when you repeat success, build understanding. When you rush, you just build chaos. So lesson number 3, stop trying to do everything in one go and take the little wins. So try this. Next time your dog gets something right, don't move on. Do the same thing again and again and again. Let the success sink in, because your goal isn't to move forward as fast as you can. It's to make each step solid so that moving forward becomes easy. Lesson number 4. So let's say your dog reacts, pulls, even ignores a command, around another dog, and you instantly will panic, your shoulders will tense and your voice raises, and that thought creeps into your head, right? Of like, all the training isn't working, or I just can't do it. That moment isn't failure. It's feedback. I remember one client in particular, her dog had been doing brilliantly for weeks, and so had she, being calm, responsive, night and day when we first met them. And then one day, mid-walk, he just completely lost his mind, because she spotted a dog that was a breed that she thought her dog hated. That tension travelled down the lead, made the dog panic, made her panic more. Both reacted, and she thought it was a setback, but it wasn't. It was a spotlight. We found the missing piece. You see, every mistake can become information, like a breadcrumb trail, showing what to adjust for next time. And when you start seeing it that way, the pressure disappears because you stop chasing perfection and just start chasing understanding. So lesson number 4 is when it goes wrong, that is a good thing. We get to learn why. It is not failure. So try this. Next time something falls apart, don't rush to fix it. Take a step back and ask yourself, what had changed? Was it your energy, the environment, the lead tension, your timing? Find the reason and learn from it, and you will move forward faster than you ever thought possible. Lesson number 5. People love to label dogs like he's such a good boy or she's such a nightmare. Like as if some dogs are born calm and others are destined to be crazy. But that isn't how it works. Behind every calm, well-trained dog, there's an owner who's put in the work. A good dog isn't something you get. It's something you build. And if you're watching this, you're already doing more than most because you care enough to learn, to understand and put the time in. It might not feel like it yet, but every bit of work that you're doing right now is stacking up. Like every moment you work to get calm and not crazy, every time you stay patient instead of frustrated, you're building the dog to be proud of, that you can walk anywhere. So don't let anyone tell you it's luck. It is not luck. It's leadership, consistency and time. So lesson number 5 is everyone wants a well-trained dog, but not the work. So try this. Next time you see someone with a calm, well-behaved dog, don't think, oh, I wish mine was like that. Instead, remind yourself, I'm working for that. Because you are, and it's gonna pay off. Lesson number 6. It is far too easy to only start trying to train your dog when they're pulling or barking or reacting on the walk, But by then, it's already too late. Like you're all flustered and the lead's as tight as a noose and the dog and your brain is just gone kaput. The real training doesn't start when it all goes wrong. It starts before you even leave the house. It's how your dog waits at the door, how they walk out the gate, how they move beside you on the lead. Like whether they check in with you or whether they just charge ahead and do whatever they want. See, if you only address the problems as they happen, you'll always be chasing your dog's behavior. But if you proactively train every piece of the walk, calm exits, focus at heel, attention when you actually ask for it, your dog already knows how to behave before the distractions appear. So lesson number 6 is proactive training always beats reactive training. So try this. Tomorrow, don't go for a walk, go for training. Practice calm at the door. Work on your heel for 5 minutes. Reward check-ins, set it all up before you ever even meet another dog. Because calm, controlled walks aren't built in panic, they're built in preparation. Lesson number 7. Your dog doesn't speak English, right? They don't understand what get down means. They don't understand it means stop jumping up. Or no, stop it, be a good boy means stop kicking off at that dog and behave. What they do learn is that every time they jump up at you, you talk, you move, you react positively, and that's a reward. And then every time they erupt at another dog, you seem to be engaging with them. I used to do it too. I used to try to stop dogs verbally with no actual consequence. So all I was really doing was joining in with the dog with the excitement and also teaching them to ignore me and any command I gave. Then one day I was watching like a Chinese film with subtitles. And anyway, I thought, it just hit me. I thought, God, I'm being an idiot. Like I'm trying to use English words on an animal which doesn't speak English and wanting them to understand everything I say. I need to actually speak dog, which is discipline before affection. So I started showing owners how to calmly correct their dog's behavior instead of trying to talk them through it. And you know what? Jumping up stopped almost instantly, and the kicking off soon followed as well. Because dogs don't need explanations, they need clarity. So lesson number 7 is don't use a command when you actually need a correction. So try this. Next time your dog does do something you don't like, jumping up at you, barking, pulling on the lead, stop talking to them. Stay calm and actually take action and show your dog that you don't want that behavior. And here's how. Simply mark the bad behavior with one verbal firm cue, such as a no or an and then correct the dog. A simple pop on the lead will usually do. Do it like you mean it. No love taps allowed. But you'll be amazed at how quickly things change when you stop giving your dogs commands and full English sentences in place of correction to stop bad behavior. Lesson number 8. It's thinking that your dog erupting at another dog activity, is your problem, and not realizing that your dog has bad energy attachment to everything to do with that scenario, not just the dog. The other dog is the catalyst that makes the chemical explosion happen. You see, dogs attach energy to everything, to people, to items, to other animals, and to situations. Let me explain. So to people, you and your family, your friends, each will have their own energy view in your dog's mind, like what they can and can't do, how they can and can't do it. Think of the respect you had for your favourite teacher as a child, and then the respect, or should I say lack thereof, of a substitute teacher who just rolled in the big TV. Like, that's what I'm talking about, the difference in the energy views. Then you have items. Think of how differently your dog acts around the front door compared to the door between your kitchen and your living room. Or the difference in how they act around you putting your walking coat on compared to your jumper. The difference between the lead and the remote control. I think you get the point. Then we have other animals. See, a lot of dog reactive dogs can actually be fine with other dogs off lead, but not on. Or maybe your sister's dog, told your dog off as a puppy and now it's their only friend. And then finally, we have your dog's energy view of entire situations, which will usually have people like yourself, items like the lead, and then other animals in like the other dog. So let me explain how all of this actually ties together in a way that will actually help you. So what do? We clip them up on the lead, and straight away that means one thing to your dog, right? Like excitement. It's high energy, and it's always meant that we're going out, right? And then now they're also attached to you. The person who, like, if we're honest, probably lets them get away with more than we should. So, like, you're a bit of a pushover in your dog's energy view, right? So that's how they feel about you. And then you head out the front door, another really high energy item. And this is because every time someone comes through the door, they greet your dog while he's bouncing around and, like a lunatic. And also, your dog charges out the door, most probably pulling you through it to start the walk. So by the time you actually get outside, you stack 3 layers of chaos before you've even taken a step. The dog's energy view of the lead, the door, and then the energy view of you that they're attached to. So it's no surprise that your dog's already pulling and lunging and running rampant, basically, the second you get out and your walk begins. And then you see a dog. And then we have the explosion. So do you see the problem? Everything to do with your dog's reactivity before the actual dog has the wrong energy. So how can we expect your dog to do anything but explode? It's already ramped up and ready to go, right? So lesson number 8 is dogs attach energy to people, items, other animals, and then finally to whole situations. So try this. The most important first thing to change is the dog's energy view of you. Then you can start changing their energy view of everything else. So when you come downstairs in the morning or you come home from work, just don't acknowledge your dog until they're calm. That's it. Just start there. If you stop ramping your dog up for everything, they'll start calming down for things. Lesson number 9. So your dog's barking, lunging, reacting, and you're just trying to distract them with chicken or cheese, saying, come on, look at me this way, look at this. Now, the problem is that the dog's already way over a threshold. They're not there, they're not available. Like they've mentally checked out, they're out of the building. And when your dog's in that state, like, food means absolutely nothing. I mean, you've probably experienced this, right? Like, you will take your dog outside and they won't even have a treat out there without dogs around. In the house they will, but outside they won't. And then when their dog is around, you could offer them fillet steak and they wouldn't care, right? Because in that moment, they're in fight or flight mode. You don't fix reactivity with food. You fix it with timing. By interrupting the behavior, bring the dog back down, and then rewarding the right behavior. So lesson number 9 is using treats for dog activity as your main training option is just utterly, utterly useless. So try this instead. What you need to do is interrupt your dog as soon as they start changing when they've seen the other dog. So as soon as you see them go from how they are when there's no dogs around to when they see a dog, you need to step in and interrupt then. Now, a firm lead check and turning into them will usually do the trick. And then you wait for that intensity to go, and then we walk away, and then you can reward. And then it means something. Lesson number 10. Now, everyone seems to talk to their dogs in like full English, fluid sentences. Come on over here, Luna. Come on over and sit down. Come on, sit down. Good, good girl. Come on, Luna. Come on over and sit down. Good girl, Luna. Come on, sit down. And then Luna just goes and lies down over there somewhere, and then we just say good girl anyway. Like, we have full conversations, with commands thrown in there. And then we wonder why our dog just stares at us looking completely lost. You see, the problem is we think more words equal more clarity. But in the dog's world, it's the complete opposite. The more you say, the less they generally understand. Let me clarify though, like if you're on the sofa, just chilling out with your dog, having a conversation, tickling their face and smushing it, then that's cool. That's absolutely fine. I do it all the time. But if you want your dog to actually listen, like to actually understand what you want them to do, then you need to stop talking and we need to start communicating. So lesson number 10 is talking and communicating are two very different things when it comes to dog training. So try this instead. When you want to communicate something with your dog, aka you want them to listen, actually do what you ask, then say the command clearly and once, and like not in a full sentence. So instead of Luna, come over here and sit down like a good girl, try Luna, come. Then when Luna comes over, then you say sit. Then when Luna sits, you say good girl and give the love. Now, if Luna knows all these commands, then she will automatically behave better without you changing any of your actual training. Lesson number 11. Do you say to your dog, sit, 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 and then your dog still does it? Or do you say stay, stay, and then your dog walks off? Or you say like, come on, come here, and your dog looks at you like, nah, I'm good over here, thanks. Well, this is the cardinal sin of dog training, because your dog is learning that your words hold no real meaning and that they're not to be listened to, really. So, which can literally cause every single issue you can think of with the dog, including dog activity. So what do we need to do? Well, it's really simple, to be honest. You just follow through with what you've said. Then your words start to carry weight. Your dog begins to realise what mum or dad says they mean. Lesson number 11 is following through matters more than anything else. So try this. Say the command clearly once, and then wait a second or two, maximum, nice, and then follow through if they've ignored. So here's an example. You say sit, and if they sit, of course, reward them. But if you say sit and they don't, give it 1 or 2 seconds, remember maximum, and then you make them sit. So all you have to do is apply a little bit of pressure up on the collar. Think of like gently lifting the world's lightest suitcase off the floor. Obviously, please don't lift your dogs off the floor. That level of pressure. And then place your hand on the bum and a little bit of pressure there. And wait until they sit. When they do finally sit, good. Don't reward them because, for example, you wouldn't reward your child for cleaning the room when you actually went and cleaned it. You've had to make them do it. Now release them and then do that whole thing again. And keep doing that and watch them start to listen, and then do it with other commands. And this will work because every time you say it, you're following through. So then you're not just teaching the behavior, you're building trust in your word, and what you say matters. Lesson 12. So I apologize if this one's been bugging you for years. Do you get completely thrown off or confused when your dog suddenly erupts after being calm for ages? Like they'll walk past 5 dogs, right? Perfectly fine. And then on the 6th one, boom, full-blown explosion. Like barking, lunging, spinning, like utter chaos, everything that you don't want. And are you thinking like, hang on, wait, what? Like what? Where has this come from? Why has this just happened? Here's what's happening. Firstly, did you know that your dog has the emotional regulation of a 2.5-year-old child? Like they can go from calm to mental and then back again in seconds. So your dog / toddler explodes and then you panic and tighten the lead and start shouting and freak out and it just feeds the fire, right? So now, because both ends of the leads are as erratic and emotional as a 2.5-year-old toddler having a meltdown, so there's no leader. But when you understand that your dog's brain works this way, it can be a real game changer for you. Because now you can stop taking it personally, stop getting embarrassed, you can stop panicking easier. And instead of thinking like, oh my God, we're back to square one, you just realize, no, this is just a moment, it'll pass. So lesson number 12 is, your dog has the emotional regulation of a 2.5-year-old child. So try this. Focus on training your dog's emotional regulation in controlled settings like the living room. So here's what you do. You get them super excited over a toy or food that you know they love, and you play with them or do treat training. And then suddenly stop. Just say, enough. Use this hand motion because it's clear, we don't use it very often. And then calmly put the toy or the treats away. If your dog whines, barks, pesters, say a clear, firm no, and then go and make them lie down. When they're calm, you can do this whole process again. Get the toy out, get the treats out. Do this every single day and multiple times have the enough, and watch your dog's emotional regulation skyrocket from hyper and crazy to being able to calm down nice and quick. Lesson number 13. This one's really easily done. Do you give your dog attention like whenever they want it? They put the paw on your leg or they're whining or following you around from room to room and you just think it's sweet because it means they love you, right? And if that's the case, then there is a problem and we need to fix it. Because what feels like love is just us creating dependency for them. You see, you're teaching your dog that they can't feel relaxed or comforted unless they're with you. So the moment you walk outside, they just panic. And then that panic can turn into pacing or barking or even destruction. And more often than not, can turn into reactivity on walks because they become overprotective of you from being so obsessed. And then it's a vicious circle because they then demand more attention, so then you give them more attention, and then they demand more attention again. And it just goes round and round and round. It's basically feeding anxiety. So you're not meeting a need, you're growing one. And lots of owners have this issue. But when I teach them how to flip that around so that you give affection on your terms and not on the dog's. Now, don't get me wrong, when you first do this, it's really tough because you've basically created a needy child and now they need to learn to self-soothe. But once we do teach them that, God, it's so much better. Your dog starts to relax, they can stop following you constantly, and they can finally learn how to calm down on their own. And they stop being overprotective on walks. So, lesson number 13 is allowing your dog to be needy and demanding breeds anxiety and reactivity. So try this. Start small. If your dog follows you everywhere, mark it with a note as soon as you see them get up to follow you. Put them back where they were. Wait a few seconds and then go to walk off and try again. Rinse and repeat with this until you can actually go out of sight for a millisecond. If you think of this as a wall, you literally disappear and then reappear. When you do, walk back, sit back down. Do not give fuss once you got back. Wait until they've completely calmed, and then you can call them over and give some fuss and attention. Then get them to lie back down, go set back off again. Rinse and repeat and keep doing this. 10 or so times on the trot, and then the rest of the time they can follow you around the house. Build up the time that you can disappear and reappear. And before you know it, you'll realise that you've taught them something, that they can be calm, not just with you, but also without you. Lesson number 14. Okay, so this one actually annoys me a little bit because there are so many trainers that sell this as the fix-all for dog activity. So good people like yourself go on group walks for activity and just come back ending up confused because your dog's probably perfect on those walks, walking nice and calmly around all the other dogs. And just after a short time, you're probably thinking, yes, we finally cracked it, right? And then the next day, you go out for a normal walk, you see another dog, and boom, total meltdown, nothing's changed. And you think, what? I don't understand. And so here's why. So your dog hasn't learned how to handle the pressure of a new dog approaching. They've just been desensitized to those specific dogs on that specific walk in that specific location. But then out and about in the real world, it all falls apart again because each new dog that you and your dog sees isn't one of those dogs on the group walk and in the group walk setting. Remember the previous lesson where I talked to you about how dogs attach energy to people, to items, or the animals and to situations? This is a prime example. Your dog has a good energy view of that group walk, but that's it. So it's not that your dog can't be calm passing other dogs, especially passing other dogs head on. It's just that they haven't learned how to do it yet under real world pressure. Now we do that with structured training, repetition, and calmly setting up those real world situations on purpose. So lesson number 14 is group walks will not fix your dog's reactivity. So try this. Now, before being able to pass a dog calmly, you need to be able to practice and get a solid heel. That's one of the most important first major practical hands-on training steps. So if you want to see and to learn how to do this step by step, then click the video above and I'll show you just that.